Welcome to this week's episode of Be Your Greatest Asset, the wellbeing podcast for mums in business and working mums who want to feel inspired to prioritize your well-being when life feels like it's going at a million miles an hour. If you're anything like me, you just wish that time would slow down and you had time for self-care, for the fun things in life, to spend with your family, and just to bring more joy to life. I'm really pleased to have with me today Karen. Karen is a
Hi.
transformational coach from Karenoomia. Karen, would you like to introduce yourself in more detail?
Hi. Yes, I'm a transformation coach, and I basically went through a tough awakening. So my goal is to help as many people as I can, just come through gently and guide people and give people the right tools to be able to just get through it as smoothly as possible. I think many women reach a certain age where they just sort of think, is this it? You're running around as a busy mum. And like you said a moment ago, Michelle, not making any time for yourself. And that's got to be a priority because how can you look after the rest of your family if you're not looking after yourself?
Exactly.
So self-care became a priority. Um, I was ill. I was living in a moldy house. My health was just absolutely all over the place. I was depressed. I was a people pleaser. Um, and it really just was taking its toll.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to help as many people as I can, um, just create a safe space for people.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, yes, you've mentioned awakening. So today our topic
Mm,
is awakening. I forgot to say that at the beginning.
yeah.
um,
Mm,
Tools for awakening and aligning with your best life. Because I believe, well, we believe, don't we, Karen, that your
mm,
soul has. There's a reason why you're here. You have a journey
absolutely.
um,
Mm,
to enjoy, and
yes.
so let's talk about what awakening means. What is an awakening?
Yes. I mean, for me, it was actually putting the boundaries in place initially, um, learning that this is my life. It's no one else's, and it's up to me to say no to things.
Yeah.
And that was huge. Taking 5 minutes just to step outside. You can prioritize the housework, you can prioritize everyone else's needs. But actually, how much does the housework really matter? Because actually, you don't need the house to be spick and span all the time. Yes, it's nice occasionally. It's nice to actually free the mind up. We all like that. But it doesn't have to be everything. So stepping outside and just taking 5 minutes to do some breathing techniques, calm your mind down, do some meditation. I think it's absolutely vital. Um, for me, I put my trust in the universe, absolutely just gave into it, really. And then I just found the right people arrived, the right tools arrived. And it was kind of like I was just in that right space and it just snowballed and everything kind of moved from there.
That's lovely. That's really beautiful. It's interesting you said in your initial introduction, you thought, is this it? Is this it
Yeah.
to life? I think a lot of people
Mm,
go through life living on autopilot,
yeah.
but not really fully feeling life.
Mm,
Maybe feeling a bit resentful of certain circumstances, the challenges,
yeah. The
where
victim mode.
yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
for me, my awakening was really just deciding to take the reins of my own life, to take control, except it's not really
Yes.
control, it's more like surrender to
Yeah.
the unexpected challenges and the things
Mm,
that
yeah.
happen to you, but realize that
Mm,
actually life is happening for you. um
yeah.
I know that we both hit rock bottom before we picked ourselves up and
yeah,
went and
yeah.
dealt with that
You
big,
hit that like the caterpillar. Yeah,
yeah,
and
phoenix.
the caterpillar, it just crushes and it crushes, and then it turns out into this beautiful, magnificent creature that is flying around. And I think many of us go through that. And just you sometimes have to hit that rock bottom first
Yeah.
before you start rising up. Yeah.
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
My rock bottom was house renovations, falling out with the
Really.
neighbors,
Yeah.
with a small baby.
Yeah.
We'd already had, like, I gave birth in a building site.
Oh my
Then we
goodness.
did more renovations, and
Yeah.
oh, it was just crazy. Like the builders,
And I think
everything.
it builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up, doesn't it? Until it
Yeah,
just reaches that point. Um, but then when you start learning tools to actually deal with it and look at it better, look at it from a different perspective, um, and changing your mind, it just makes you deal with all these things in a totally different manner. Um, Instead of automatically just reacting with, oh my God, ooh, poor me. Um, and when you get out of that victim mode and when you start looking at things differently, that's when things start changing.
yeah.
And that's when things just start falling into place. And when you put your trust in the universe and ask, that's when things really start just coming along and things change
They
rapidly,
do.
don't they?
They things can change very, very quickly, but it's about
Mm,
making that choice that you're going
absolutely.
to choose yourself, say yes to yourself, to set those
Yeah,
boundaries and look at your
100%.
prioritize and what you really want in life. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Um, so
But for
when
some people, it's so hard to actually see any way out. And,
yes,
particularly when you're ill, to actually see any way out of that situation is so hard. But there is a way out for everyone.
yeah,
You don't have to stay as you are. So it's just sort of getting that information out to people that, life doesn't have to be all downhill. Even
exactly.
being a mum, yes, we're all going to have mundane jobs to do in life. As a parent, you've still got the bins to put out. You've still got, those things to do. But it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, does it?
No, it doesn't. And you can actually make a mindful activity of it. Like I did a video the
Yeah.
other day where I was hoovering. I was just focusing on the
Mm.
hoovering, the noise and like what I
Yeah.
was actually doing. And I became really present in the moment. I actually ended up quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah. And
said,
actually,
if we
yeah,
don't
it is
get
that presence. Yeah.
that's it, yeah. But that said, if we don't get the hoovering done, or we don't
Mm.
get the bins out today, then
Yeah.
it's not a big disaster if you
Not the
have
end
to
of the
wait another week
world, is
for
it?
women to come, being people to come, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's absolutely it. It's just changing the way you look at things
yeah,
and not having that automatic panic and that automatic explosion of emotions. Um, I mean, my vagus nerve was completely off, and it reached a point where even excited emotion tips it over the edge.
mm,
So, some of the breathing techniques and the meditation and things, and yoga nidra as well, that was absolutely fantastic for it. That's have you used yoga nidra yourself?
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a really good way for people like myself who have recently discovered having ADHD, um, but using something called yoga nidra as a way to meditate when your mind is just going crazy and going this way and that. It You're focusing on different body parts, and it just brings the awareness right there. So your mind still wanders a little bit, but it's not like just going crazy all the time. It gives you something to focus on, doesn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, it brings you back into your body for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's brilliant for people like myself.
I think everybody though, even people without
Mm,
ADHD, because I think,
mm,
we're all busy.
mm.
We're conditioned to live a really stupidly busy life.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
conditioned to believe that if we're not filling every single waking moment with
Mm,
a task, you
yeah.
know, then we're not working hard enough, we're not good enough.
Mm,
But in
yeah.
actual fact, the truth is we need to make that space in our busy calendars to calm, use that, that spare 5 minutes instead of,
Yeah.
okay, let chuck another load of washing in. Let's sit
Yeah.
and let's have a cup of tea, let's go
Mm,
for a walk.
yeah.
And that is where
Yeah.
you then start to see and create the new
Mm,
possibilities, see the new ways to get out
yeah.
of your sticky
Yeah. And
situation.
even using walking meditations. I mean, doing the mindfulness while you're going for a walk. Um, you know, just think that it can be so helpful to just slot these different activities and mindfulness ways into your day, and just bring them in, just to have those calming moments. But I used to meditate and I'd just lay there and go, oh, I better put the dinner in. I better start this, I better start that. So, one of the things that I use, I love listening I like going for sound baths and things.
Oh, me too.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I find with the singing bowls, if I listen to those just at home, it really just sends me off. I can go off on a little journey then.
No, it's beautiful. That is some journey, isn't it? When you're with the
Mm.
bowls. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that. So
yeah,
you mentioned the vagus nerve. I don't
yes,
think that all our listeners will know what the vagus nerve is. What is
yes.
the vagus nerve?
Well, the vagus nerve is the main nerve that runs from right up in your brain, and it goes all the way down. And basically, it controls all of the body's main organs, all your body systems. So, your heart rate, your stomach, your digestion. So when that's off, it really does, it just throws your body out. So, and I mean, there's loads of techniques you can use for um, bringing the vagus nerve back in, because it's almost like a switch. I mean, I've been for acupuncture, I've been for all sorts, but there's lots of, if you go on YouTube and things, you can find loads of different techniques and sort of yawning techniques and this sort of thing to try and sort of click it back in. But I found acupuncture really useful for that.
Yeah. It's not too difficult to do it, is it? I mean, you can use aromatherapy oils, essential oils, and all
Yeah,
sorts, can't you, to stimulate it
yeah.
again.
But
But it's
stress is a trigger. I mean, when you're just living in fight or flight mode continuously,
yeah.
like I was, I mean, years of stored grief, years of pressure. I've got my son's high functioning autism. Um, so getting him to school was the most stressful thing. It was transitions are one of his biggest hurdles,
Mm,
and but he still had to be at school on time. So it's constant pressure, pressure, pressure. And it is because, you've got time schedules,
yeah.
timings, you know, you're just up against it all the time. But actually, in an autistic child's world, there aren't those timings.
Mm,
Um, so it's a difficult world to function in.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think again, I mean, even my children, they don't have um a diagnosis, but I think
Mm,
children do tend to work on their own time frames. They don't understand
yeah.
like time frames. If you say, or in
Mm,
10 minutes, or is that,
mm,
it could be 2 minutes or it could be 2 hours
yeah.
to them, or
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
don't
You
have
could
that
try
sense of
setting clocks and
urgency.
timers, and I've had countdown clocks,
Yeah.
and you can just
Yeah.
go on and on. But actually, you can assist them as much as you can. You can try as much as you can, but it's stressful. It's hard.
Mm.
It's hard being a mum, isn't it?
It really
It's the
is. It's
hardest job in the world, and
definitely
yeah,
the best
yeah.
job and the
So
hardest job.
Absolutely.
Even when the mundane, like I mean, it doesn't always feel like the best job though. That's the thing.
Yeah. No,
But
it doesn't.
overall, I
But
yeah.
overall, and I've been lucky enough to, my son's now 16 and he's, still struggling to get to school for his A levels, but he's grown into a lovely, lovely young man now. So, and it gets easier. It does get easier, but you just think that, those years go by so quickly, don't they? So
Yeah.
making time to actually get outside with your kids and do these things and, leave that pile of washing,
Yeah.
get outside with them.
Play
Mm,
games with them, board games and things, and just not be that mum. Like I realized that I was becoming that mum, or I was that mum that was always like,
mm.
in a minute, in a minute, in a minute,
Oh,
and then always running out of time
100%.
for my actual children,
Yeah,
who is what I'm telling myself,
yeah,
who I live for,
yeah,
who I live and
yeah.
breathe for, who I'm doing it for. But actually,
Mm.
I'm getting so
And
caught
you
up in
can,
the doing.
yeah, you can look
I
back and
was,
go, oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. You can look back and go, oh, was, I was busy, I was doing the housework, but the next day, look at the place. Why? Why did I bother?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It's pick your
mm,
battles, isn't it? Do you
it
feel that
is pick your battles. Yes,
have
you
you
hit the
used
nail on the head.
have you used a lot of the techniques with your son to help
No,
him
no, I
to?
mean, he's quite rigid minded.
Mm,
And yeah, and as a lot of the things that I do, he's really not ready for. So, yeah, especially, some of the things that I've used, he knows I use meditation. Um, he knows I use sort of gratitude and things like that, and being thankful for things, and that is huge. I think some of the most amazing things have come to me by using gratitude. And if I don't know whether you've ever done a gratitude challenge or anything, where you sort of you're doing it with everyone else and some
yeah.
of the gratitude, but some of the things that have come into me um, have been amazing. I've had money turn up. I've had all sorts.
But that's
So
the thing.
that's been brilliant.
I'm a massive believer in gratitude as a tool,
Yeah.
because it's like first of all, you realize that there's a lot of good stuff. When we get caught up,
Mm.
it's human nature to get caught
Yeah.
up in the things we don't have. So
Mhm. Yeah.
when we then start to think, okay, well, actually, I'm really grateful now for
Mm.
this pen that I'm writing with,
Yeah.
for I don't know, for the internet to talk to you, for the light to
Yeah.
illuminate me.
Yeah. Mm.
I can hear the birds outside. I always use the bird song as an example of my gratitude.
Yes.
It's just one of my
Oh,
favorites. So
100%.
simple,
Yes.
but and you realize that actually life isn't so rubbish after all.
Mm.
It's there's
Oh,
so much good,
so
even
much
in
good.
simple things.
Yeah. Mm.
And I really believe that the more
Mm.
gratitude you can bring into your life, the universe says, "Oh wow, she is really appreciative, and
Mm.
she deserves to have more." And now you're deserving
Yeah.
before, but you have to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the more grateful you are, the universe goes, okay, well, I'm going to introduce a little bit more to her now. She
Yeah.
can hold
And
it.
it's using the universe as well to sort of manifest things as well. And
Oh,
you
yes.
need to be, quite specific. I mean, I manifested my country cottage, but I didn't ask for it to be damp. But I didn't ask for it not to be damp. So and I practiced using parking spaces and things. And 9 times out of 10, I get that parking space that I want.
I do
Um
the same.
yeah,
Like, yes, I'm late for the school run. Oh, there's a parking space
yeah,
right outside the school. What are the chances of that? Oh, this is for me.
yeah,
Thank you, thank you, thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And be thankful to the universe for what they're giving you.
yeah.
And and go out and sort of just feel from your heart and
Mm,
actually be sending love to people from your heart. And that has a massive effect when you go out with an open heart and how people react to you. Even just going around the supermarket, if you go with an open heart, people just start speaking to you.
yeah, yeah,
And people just strike up conversations with you because you're just giving out a different vibration.
yeah. Giving out light. Yeah. No, it's funny.
Yeah,
Supermarket is one of the examples I often use, actually, like how you
is it?
create a
Yeah,
ripple effect.
Yeah.
Walking down the street,
Yeah.
like just smiling at
Yeah.
somebody can make
Yeah.
such a difference, and that will
And
then
what you give
their
out comes
vibration.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
exactly.
it makes their day. Just giving somebody, a random person, a compliment who you don't know,
Yeah,
um, really love your hair. It can absolutely change a person's day.
yeah, absolutely. But it makes you feel good as well. You're like, oh,
Mm,
it makes you feel happy that you've made someone else
yeah,
happy.
it does.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
100%. Yeah. But I mean, there's so many different things that I've used. And one of the things that I often practice, I started off um, after kind of hitting rock bottom. I'm lucky enough to have a emotional freedom practitioner technique. Um, I've got a practitioner in the family. So she said, come on, Karen, let's do some tapping. And started doing some tapping on how I was feeling and some of my emotions, and it kind of brings it all up to the stuff that it really works. And suddenly from there, I just found that the right people were presented to me. Um, the right people kind of just came into my life. Um, and one of my old friends from years and years ago, we hadn't really seen much of each other over the years recently. And I turned up on her doorstep and she said, I knew you were going to come. And she'd had a big transformational process as well. Um, and she then introduced me to something called human design. And, you know, the only way I can describing human design, it's sort of like a roadmap for putting you on the right path for you personally. It's kind of a mix between astrology, the I Ching, Kabbalah, chakras, quantum physics, if you like. Um, and learning your energy type can absolutely change your life. I found out that I'm a projector, what's called a projector. So I don't have the same amount of energy as my son and my husband as manifestors. They have a lot more energy than I do. Um, and by learning your type and your strategy and your authority, you can start putting everything into place. So, for example, as a projector, um, learning my strategy and authority, I have to wait for the invite. So I don't just go putting myself out there, wait for the invite, and then I'm at what's called a splenic projector. So for me, it's act in the moment. As soon as you get that gut feeling, don't let that mind jump in. For
Yeah.
me, yeah, you've just got to act in the moment. Whereas for other energy types, it can be sleep on it,
Yeah,
see how you feel.
sleep on it. I'm a generator.
Oh, you are, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
sleep
that's
on it.
interesting because like the podcast, I put the invite out for the podcast and you came back
Yeah,
straight away, didn't you? Like, oh yes, I'd
straight
love
away.
to.
I
Love
didn't
to.
even think about it. But then
Yeah.
afterwards, the mind jumped in. I'm like, what did I talk about that day?
And
And
what do you
and then
say?
the mind jumps in, but I acted on the spleen.
Yeah, and you're like,
Mm,
oh, I didn't feel like I was ready. Like afterwards, I didn't feel like I was ready, and I was like, you
yeah,
are ready.
yeah, yeah,
You are ready. And
absolutely. But
I think that's the thing, like, to listeners, you are ready. You don't have to be anything else, do anything else.
no, yeah,
You are ready
yeah.
for
I mean,
whatever it
I'm
is.
just at that point now where I'm at that stage where I'm ready to help other people,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to get my course together. Um, where and this is the other thing I found, that you do so many masterclasses, and I know we've spoken before about how the algorithm, you get all these things come up which are everything that you search and everything that's to do with your own business. But I'm sure you're the same, that you get offered all these masterclasses all the time, and it's do this and you'll do the masterclass, and yeah, you get a good bit of information from it, but then it's join my course, it's 2 grand. And I was never in a position to be able to do that. So for me, I want to help the people who really need the help.
Yeah.
So I'm creating a subscription model, and just a low subscription model, to be able to actually put my arms around people and help them walk through the process, Um, and just, I think it's power in numbers. If you've got the right people around you, to support you, who understand what you're going through and who are actually on the same spiritual path as you as well, it can just make such a difference. Otherwise, it can be a lonely journey. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know, and learning to love yourself and value yourself and know that you have self-worth. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes, like, you find the right people. People don't necessarily have to understand what you're going through,
Mm,
but they just
mm,
have to be non-judgmental and
yes.
hold you
And
and
give you the
let
space
you,
and support.
yeah,
Mm,
let you be, who you need to be, let you
mm,
process your emotions, even if they don't
yeah,
understand. I think that's really
yeah,
important. Like, you know,
yeah,
validating your feelings
mm,
so you know that
yes,
your feelings are valid. I think
yeah,
we put too much on, too much expectation on other people to help us feel
mm,
right, like we're enough, like we're, like
yeah,
our feelings are valid.
yes.
But actually,
So
that's
you've
part
got
of the
to
self-love
start
journey of
valuing yourself
awakening.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
actually appreciating yourself. But then also, using the human design to actually work through the shadows,
mm,
and using the gates and things to actually look at myself and go, oh, I've got that gate. Now I understand why I act like that. And I've got to move from the shadow side of that, and move into the city side of it. So,
yeah.
using it bit by bit to, I mean, it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a deconditioning system,
Yeah.
and it's an experiment. You've
Mm,
got to experiment with your human design. And I really love the sort of environment side of it.
mm.
Um, my environment is mountains, and I love working upstairs in the bedroom. I like being up high. Um, I love to have open space around me.
Mm,
Um, and so much of it just makes sense and it just clicks.
yeah. No,
So
I feel the
yes,
same
so
with human
it's
design.
but it can get so overwhelming. You can dive into it, and I think so many people are like me. And you see it and go, "Oh my God, I love this system. It's amazing." And then you start diving into it, and then it's just like, "Oh my God, overwhelm," and you have to just step away because
Yeah. Yeah. And start
yeah,
processing. That's a little bit what I did to start with.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you kind of come back to it and go, "Okay, now I'll learn the profile side of it."
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, too much, step away, and then come back. So it is a bit by bit process. And it
Yeah.
is just so easy to get overwhelmed by it. But it's
I think
helped. It's helped.
definitely, yeah. I loved learning more about my human design, but yeah, I'm in a processing stage still. Like
Yeah.
I don't fully understand it. But I think human
Mm,
design is it's a massive, massive topic. But I think
mm,
we get overwhelmed with that, but we can get overwhelmed with anything new, anything that we feel like we need to create time for when we actually don't really have a lot of time anyway. So
yeah.
I think the key really for awakening, for your journey of
Mm,
awakening, to come back to yourself, to trust yourself, to believe in your self-worth,
yeah.
to grow and to thrive, is to understand
Yeah.
that it is a journey and it doesn't happen instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's a
And
process.
sometimes you just want to rush for the information. And I
Yeah.
mean, I don't watch a lot of TV now because I'd rather listen to a podcast or
Mm.
um, I it's that thirst for knowledge, isn't it? That thirst for learning more. But it's really important to know when you do reach that stage of going, oh, a little bit overwhelming. It's okay to just stop and go and watch a bit of Netflix or something and just go, it's okay to do that sometimes and just switch off. And I think that's really good for the mind actually as well, to just get it absorbed um in a program sometimes, to just totally, chill out.
Definitely. Yeah. It's, it's all, or get stuck into a good book or something or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just stepping into somebody else's reality for a little bit, taking that
yeah,
step back out of your world
yeah,
so you can
yeah,
recharge, really, isn't it? It's a
yeah,
recharging thing. And then you can
absolutely.
get back into it again. Or
Mm,
sometimes when you take a step back, the thing that you've been struggling with, it actually doesn't seem difficult anymore.
doesn't seem as bad,
It's
does it?
amazing. It's really
Isn't
amazing.
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you step back and then you come back. No, what was I worrying about?
The best example I've got about that is actually my son recently. He was doing this Technic Lego model, getting
Yeah.
really, really frustrated with it. And like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I can do this, which is amazing determination. But at the
Mm,
same time, he was getting really anxious about it and
awesome. Yeah,
overwhelmed
yeah,
and stressed. And I was trying to encourage him that just put it down for a minute, go and do something else, go and do something else. And
yeah.
after, I don't know, about half an hour, he finally relented.
Finally
And off he
did.
went, and
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe watching TV, or I don't know what he did.
yeah,
I can't remember. I remember him sat on my office floor because I was on a working day, and he's like, I want to do this model. And then he came back and he said, Mom, look, I've done it.
yeah,
And he just,
yeah,
like, straight away had seen where he'd gone wrong,
yeah,
and few
yeah,
little tweaks and done. And when you
yeah,
look at life like a Lego model, it is like a process,
yeah.
like, of building and growing. And
It is.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And of
So
course
the
we
other thing yes, sorry, I was going to say the other thing that I've used a lot is Ho'oponopono.
mm,
And that's a fantastic technique. And it's so simple. It's a Hawaiian prayer. And it's very basic, but you can use it as a clearing technique um, for physical problems, for mental problems, for memories. And it's just simple. It's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you're clearing, you can use it if you've got, say, chest pain or something. I'm certainly not saying don't call an ambulance if you've got a chest pain. If you know what it is. An awful lot of our emotions go into our body. So I'll focus in on the body part that's hurting. I'll say the prayer and I'll repeat it, keep repeating it. And sometimes I can go on, I'll use it for half an hour on one problem. And then I can move on to something else another day. If there's something that's upset me, you're basically, it's the Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness. So you're using it to forgive your feelings for that situation. So someone may have upset you, but you're not necessarily healing them. You're healing your emotion and how you felt for
yeah,
that situation.
yeah,
But it's a really, really simple tool to use
yeah.
just to clear yourself. And
That's
I use that frequently.
I love that. That's really, really good
Mm-hmm.
techniques. I've never come across that one before. So that's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's an
Well worth looking into.
interesting one to learn as well, isn't it? That, that pain manifests, like the emotion manifests as pain in our bodies.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and that a lot of the time we are holding on to, hurt from other people. Like they're not
Mm.
even aware that they've caused us pain most of the
Yeah.
time.
They've
And
moved on.
again,
They've gone past. Yeah.
yeah, I talk to my
Yeah.
boys about this a lot. That person that's been mean to you in the playground, they don't care. They're not bothered at all now. So now you
No.
have to work on how you're going to
Yeah.
respond even to it, how you're going to deal with
Yeah.
it, move through it. And yeah.
Yeah. And actually, our body only holds it, I was reading, for 90 seconds. So actually, after the body will hold it for 90 seconds. And after that, it's the mind controlling the body holding it.
Oh,
So the
interesting.
mind
Yeah.
then comes in and it takes over. So someone's hurt your heart,
Mm,
the body does have a reaction and
mm,
it goes straight into the body, but it passes after 90 seconds.
mm.
So then it's the mind. So it's then back to controlling that mind again.
Very
And
mindset.
mm,
Very, very powerful. Yeah. We have to definitely
oh yeah.
feel through life, not live by the
Mm,
mind, live by the heart.
yeah, it's
That's
getting back into the body
yeah.
and not in the mind.
That's what I'm very
And
passionate
you
about.
know, it doesn't happen overnight. It is a process, and you are deconditioning yourself.
It's an
Um,
awakening, a slow awakening, isn't it?
yeah,
Like getting up
yeah,
in the morning
and
on a cold winter's morning when you all you want to do
yeah,
is stay snuggled up, but you just slowly
stay
peel
in
back the
bed.
covers.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
absolutely.
wow. So we have covered some ground today. So the tools, so we've
Yeah,
covered gratitude, being in nature, meditation, human design,
mm,
EFT or emotional freedom technique, and
yeah,
Hippono. Would you
yeah.
Hippono? Hippono.
Ho'oponopono. Yeah,
Hippono.
yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. So very much spiritual side, the mindset side of awakening.
yeah,
And we've talked about sort of how it feels, how you, it's kind of, well, it's like very liberating to, for
yeah,
me, very
yeah.
liberating and feeling like you're actually
Mm,
in control of your life, taking the reins of your life. Um,
yes,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because ultimately, no one else is in charge of you. You're in charge of yourself.
yeah.
And it's got to come from you. The change has got to come from you, but everyone can do it. Everyone can move on. Um, and everyone can start to look at things differently.
We're not supposed to stay still in life. Life is supposed to be a
No.
journey. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be
that's why we're all here.
yeah,
Yeah,
and you know we've chosen to put roots down, which is fine. There's a lot to be
yeah,
said for putting roots down, but if those roots start to make you feel
yeah,
suffocated, then that's
yeah,
time to start
yeah. And it's stepping
move
into the
on.
fear as well. I think it's really easy to be fearful of something and just not do it. But if you feel the fear and you do it anyway, you know, stepping through things, it's stepping over the hurdles.
Yeah.
Um, And once you've been fearful of something and then you go and do it, I mean, that's liberating, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's still terrifying, but like even like I'll use our move to
Absolutely.
Scotland as an example there. I was
Oh, yeah.
terrified. But the thing
Oh,
is, it was a case of, well, I don't want to be the fear of getting to my deathbed. And my husband as well, he said the same, that we agreed that the fear of getting to our deathbeds and not having done it and wondering, oh gosh, what, you know, what would it have been like was
yeah.
scarier than actually doing it in the end.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and you know, the number of people that said to us, "Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave."
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, we are brave, but I mean, I'm in the privileged position that I know a lot of people who have moved multiple countries
Yeah.
through my coaching world and well and
Mm,
through my pre-coaching world actually. I've got friends who have jumped from country to country. It's like, well, if they can
yeah.
do it, can't be that
Yeah.
scary. I'm still in the
But
same
sometimes
in the UK.
you just put blocks in the way
Yeah.
and you just reasons not to
Yeah.
rather than the reasons to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do that thing. Get
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And there's no
Yes.
such thing as failing.
No,
Only lessons.
absolutely.
Only lessons.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So we've covered a lot of ground, as I said.
Yeah.
So, and you've mentioned a little bit about your course already that you're bringing
Mm,
out. So
yeah.
I'll put the your contact details in the show notes.
Brilliant.
Um, and once you've sorted out your links for that. And
Yeah.
do you have any last words of wisdom you would like to share?
Well, really, just do it, people. Just make that change. We are all busy. Let's look at things differently. Let's look at things with love and just help everyone bring the vibration up of this planet. I
Mm,
think that's so important.
yeah,
Get the vibration higher. We're all going through massive changes at the moment. And the more we unite, souls who are just like each other, the more we pull together, the stronger we become.
absolutely. Stronger together for
Mm,
sure. Together we
yeah,
rise, together we thrive.
yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
And you know, if we can get it right now as adults, break
Mm.
those cycles, then just think what
Oh,
it's going to be like for our children and
yeah.
future generations,
Th-
how much happier
That's
the
the
world is going to
thing.
be.
It's breaking that generational trauma. I mean, traumas can come from, you don't necessarily have to have something. majorly tragic happen. I mean, I was unfortunate that I have had some awful tragedies happen in my life. But for a child, it can be something as simple as some child has been mean to them. Yeah, that might be their trauma.
That's it.
These things can get carried through. So, working through those traumas, we all have it. We all have trauma. We all have those conditionings put on us where, we're told money doesn't grow on trees and things like that. But, working together, we can all get through these things. And I'm a real strong fan of bringing people together and having the tribe.
Definitely, me too. And that's part of my human
Mm.
design, actually, is having a tribe.
Having a
Can't remember
tribe.
which section
Yeah,
it is, but but yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
cool. I feel like there's a lot more conversations that could be brought from this one conversation. Like all of this could
We
just
could go on
split into
forever, couldn't
multiple.
we? Yeah,
So let's leave it there for today because it's all been,
yeah.
oh wow. Hopefully it's been very inspirational and shared some
Oh,
new
thank you
ideas,
so
new
much.
perspectives with our
I fully
listeners.
enjoyed it chatting to you today. It's been
Me
lovely, Michelle.
too.
Thank you.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been lovely. And yeah, that's why I'm doing this as well, because I want to
Yeah,
learn from other people. I want to,
yeah,
inspire other people. I want to bring people together. There's a whole
yeah.
load of layers.
Yeah, it's like me. I go,
Yeah.
oh, another course, another course. Oh, no, slow down, Karen.
Oh, it's wonderful. Life is for living, life is for growing. So, oh, amazing. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for joining me, Karen. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Michelle.
Take
Speak
care.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.